Pisces, listen closely. This is not a horoscope, but an urgent summons from destiny itself, addressed personally to you. On September 24th, 2025, your ruler Neptune, master of illusions and spiritual depths, will form a precise opposition to Saturn, the planet of karma and ultimate endings. This alignment is a celestial decree that cannot be ignored. The universe, with a heavy heart, announces, it's time for you to depart. Your former soul, your old roles and masks, must now leave this world. It is sad, yes, but such is life, an eternal cycle of farewells and rebirths. Embrace this inevitability, for only then will you create space for who you are destined to become. For too long, you have been navigating a dense fog of your own life, where every stroke feels meaningless. Your inner compasses are demagnetized, and the maps you've used to chart your course lead to long-sunk continents. Life has turned into a stagnant pool, where you play a role not written by you, in a play with someone else's ending. This internal emigration, this quiet self-renunciation, has exhausted you to your limit. And this deep weariness, this silent yearning of the soul, is the very symptom that your old world has utterly depleted itself. It can no longer offer you a single drop of living water, only the illusion of stability in a murky swamp. Saturn, the great architect of karma, will proclaim on this day a harsh cosmic law, etched upon the tablets of time. Endless dissolution into others' dramas, self-sacrifice that has become a habit of drowning. This is no longer a spiritual feat, but a betrayal of your own mission. The universe is tired of accepting this sacrifice. It will demand the impossible from you, to stop being a rescuer for everyone and finally become captain of your own ship. To find your own shores, to chart your own course. This is an ultimatum from the heavens. Either you release the helm of this phantom ship yourself, or the storm of reality will break it, along with your hands. And this push will come from outside. It will not be a metaphor, but a very concrete event. A word spoken by another person, an official document on your desk, or news that will, with a single blow, breach the hull of your old world. This is the undeniable fact that can no longer be dissolved in a fog of hope and self-deception. External reality will present you with a bill, and from this moment, the path back will be cut off forever. This is a point of no return, after which pretending as if nothing happened will become physically impossible. The universe will simply pull the ground out from under your former life. And in the deafening silence of this fall, through the roar of crumbling scenery, you will hear your true voice for the first time. It will sound not like a whisper, but like the strike of a bell. A sudden, almost painful clarity will pierce the fog of years of compromise. This will not be a thought, but a fiery knowledge, seared directly onto your heart. No more of this. In this moment, from the ruins of your submission, will rise the one who has been imprisoned all this time, your inner hero, tired of waiting for external salvation and finally ready to save yourself. This awakening will be final and irreversible. All these past years, when your boundless compassion turned against you and your faith in people shattered into pieces, were not a punishment. Every tear shed in silence, every wound from unfulfilled hopes, all of it was part of a great alchemical process. The universe was methodically evaporating naivety and dependence from your soul, leaving only a pure concentrate of will. Your pain was not the price for past mistakes, but an advance payment for future power. It became the very fuel that will now ignite the engines of your new, authentic self. And here is the great promise of this day, given to you as collateral for all your tears. You will be granted the right not just to dream, but to manifest. Every thought of yours, charged with hard-won will begin to gain weight, form, and density in the material world. The universe will hand you the tools of a reality architect. You will cease to be a consequence of circumstances and will become their cause. Your destiny is not to flow with the current of someone else's river, but to carve your own channel through the rocks of existence. This is your birthright that you will finally reclaim. But the very moment this scepter of power is handed to you, your first, almost reflexive desire will be to cast it aside and flee. To flee back to the familiar warm cove of quiet suffering, where everything is clear and no decisions need to be made. Where you can dissolve again, Become nobody and bear no responsibility for this vast, frightening world. The fear of solid ground beneath your feet, for you, a child of the water element, will be almost unbearable. And the voice of the past will whisper insidiously, "Why this struggle? Stay. At least it's safe here." This inner saboteur, that is your first dragon on the path to yourself. It is for this battle that the universe bestows upon you a new name and a new role, architect of dreams. Your mission is no longer to dissolve into others' realities, but to build your own. Every insight, every drop of compassion that once drowned you, now becomes building material. You are called to build bridges where there were chasms, and erect lighthouses where impenetrable fog reigned. Forget about escape. Your true calling is to become the master architect of a world that until now existed only in the most secret blueprints of your soul. And now you do it. With cold, almost ritualistic determination, you pick up your phone. You find that very contact, the anchor that for years kept you in the harbor of another's pain, preventing you from sailing into the open sea, and with one motion, without anger or regret, you delete it forever. This quiet digital gesture, your first decree as the creator of your destiny. This is not just deleting a number, it is a ritual burial of your old soul, which lived to save others, forgetting to save itself. The curtain falls on the first act of your drama, to the silent applause of the universe. The farewell is complete, and now, on the scorched earth of your past, the contours of 3 great trials emerge. These are the main fronts of your inner revolution. In the mirroring pools of relationships, you will finally see not someone else's reflection, but your own face. In the temple of calling, you will stop serving foreign gods and find your true purpose, the prayer of your soul. And on the shores of the material world, you will build sturdy dams so that your life force stops silently draining into the sands of others' needs. Each of these arenas will demand the same from you, to become solid where you used to be water. The first arena is the mirroring pools of relationships. Here, for centuries, you've drowned in others' eyes, mistaking their reflection for your own face. Your great gift of empathy became your curse. You empathized so deeply with another person that your own melody dissolved into their score. Saturn demands that you employ your highest power, intuition. Not the empathy that binds you to another's pain, but the intuition that connects you to your innermost truth. Pause. Stop scanning others' emotions. Ask the silence within just one question. Who am I if he or she is not looking at me? The answer will come not from your mind, but from the very core of your being, like a quiet yet unbreakable core. The second arena is the temple of calling. Here, your boundless talent dispersed, serving the altars of others' ambitions. You were the best instrument in someone else's orchestra, forgetting you were born to be the composer. Saturn will demand sacrilege from you to stop praying for inspiration and start building a home for it. Your task is not to wait for the muse, but to schedule an appointment with her. Every day, at the same time, dedicate one sacred, inviolable hour. No excuses. During this master's hour, you work only on your primary endeavor. This ritual is the only way to transform divine whispers into a tangible masterpiece. And finally, the third, most alien arena to you, the shores of the material world. Here, your saintly financial naivety and belief that everything will somehow work out have turned your life into a perpetually leaking vessel. Saturn will demand the impossible, to love numbers, invoices, and contracts. But the main lesson is in the right to refuse. You must learn to say no, not with the guilt of a rescuer, but with the cold pride of a king guarding the treasury of his kingdom. Every refusal of another's request is not an act of selfishness, but the laying of the first stone in the foundation of your own real, tangible empire. This is the highest act of creation, and the moment you feel absolutely alone on this grand construction site, the universe will send you an unexpected ally. This will be a person, a book, or a sudden idea, a guide who speaks the language of structure and form. They will not come to pity you. They will hand you a compass and a plumb bob, teach you to distinguish load-bearing walls from cardboard scenery. This is a messenger of Saturn, a materialized answer from the heavens to your readiness to build. Their task is to translate your hazy dreams into the clear language of architectural blueprints. Accept this gift. This teacher is living proof that you are no longer alone on your path to yourself. And in the hour when the icy grip of despair clutches your heart, remember the secret covenant of your celestial patrons. Neptune, your ruler, will whisper, "Within you lies an entire ocean of universal love and all possible destinies." But in response, Saturn's voice will thunder, "And all that is needed is a single crystal to prove its power." Your task is not to choose between abyss and form. Your task is to take a single drop from this ocean, one dream, and direct the full power of your will upon it. Cultivate from it a perfect crystal of reality. This is where your new magic lies. But be wary. The very moment you begin to facet your crystal, an ancient song will rise from the depths. This is the voice of your main shadow, the siren of escapism. She will not threaten. She will seduce you with the sweetest poison of inaction, whispering that the struggle is meaningless and true spirituality lies in complete non-doing. She will offer you to return to a cozy weightlessness where you can simply drift, accountable for nothing. This illusion of higher acceptance, the most insidious self-deception on your path to power, the last spell of the old world trying to drag you back to the depths. And just as you close your ears to her song, the universe will orchestrate a grand mystification for you. Your first steps on solid ground will seem deceptively easy. The right contact will appear on its own. A complex project will move forward. An unexpected sum will land in your account. The universe will seem to roll out a red carpet for you, applauding your initial effort. But this is not a reward. This is the last, most cunning test, to lull your will to sleep with the illusion of quick victory. It is a cosmic test of serious intent, designed to separate those ready for a marathon from those who only came for a sprint. But as soon as you believe in this luck, the sky will split open with the light of the full moon. The red carpet will instantly roll back, revealing an icy abyss beneath. The universe will present the true bill. Every easy victory was not a gift, but a loan. Every stroke of luck, an IOU, the repayment of which is due precisely now. The bridge to the past, across which you secretly hope to retreat, will ignite and collapse into the chasm. From this moment, the stakes change dramatically. The game is no longer for success, but for survival. And the first payment on this path of survival will be your environment. Not money, not status, but living people. Those who made up your cozy world, who grew accustomed to your role as victim and rescuer, will turn away. Not out of malice, but from an instinctive fear of your awakening power. Your new energy will be like blinding light to dwellers of twilight, and they will instinctively close their eyes. This is not a punishment. This is a surgical operation to remove all the crutches you leaned on to avoid learning to walk on your own. The universe is taking away not support, but merely the illusion of support. And now you stand amidst a scorched desert where yesterday your world stood, absolutely alone. And in this deafening silence, the most poisonous question is born: was this whole great mission merely a sophisticated form of madness? The voice of your inner prosecutor, once a whisper, now thunders like a verdict. All your efforts seem a mockery, and the grand blueprints of the future, incoherent scribbles in the sand. You look at your empty hands and realize you staked everything and lost. Faith, that last lamp, extinguishes. And in this utter darkness, where all meaning has faded, the chief terror of your sign overtakes you. Not the fear of loneliness, but the soul-chilling suspicion that the universe you so believed in is empty. That your quiet dialogue with it was merely a monologue in a vacuum. Do not fight it. Live through this rock bottom to the last drop of despair. It is there, at the very bottom, that you will discover the only thing that cannot be taken away. Not faith, not hope, but the quiet, undeniable evidence of your own existence. I am. Even here. Even now. This is the first spark from which your new sun will ignite. And this spark, like a flash of lightning, illuminates a forgotten corner of your memory. There, beneath the ruins of hope, lies the mentor's gift, a compass and a plumb bob. And an epiphany comes, cold and clear as a January sky. These tools were given to you not to repair a crumbling world, but to lay out a foundation on empty ground. Your despair was not an end, but merely a forced clearing of the construction site. And now a plan is born, devoid of former panic and dreaminess. This is no longer a survival strategy, but a calm and precise architecture of being, where every future step is already drawn on the blueprint of your will. This blueprint is a map for hunting the ultimate treasure. Your goal is not gold and not power, but the 0 point of creation. This is that first indestructible particle of your new self, around which the rest of the universe will crystallize. This is the place where you will drive a stake into the heart of your past and simultaneously lay the first stone in the foundation of your future. This is the indivisible atom of will that can no longer be dissolved in anyone's tears, nor in the ocean of your own compassion. To find this point means to cease being a reflection and become a source of light. This is your sole, authentic mission, and you begin this hunt. There are no longer 3 separate fronts, there is a single field of power within you. The firmness gained in relationships becomes a steel spine for your calling. The discipline forged in the master's hour transforms into armor for your resources, and the right to refuse, reclaimed from the world, becomes the primary law of your inner constitution. All of Saturn's lessons have fused into a single monolith of will. You are no longer learning, you are the lesson, a living embodiment of your new destiny, ready for the final decisive step. And then the phone rings. A voice from the very past you ritually buried cries out for help. It doesn't ask, it implores. It strikes precisely at your old bleeding wound, your need to be needed. And here it is, your final choice. To offer a hand to the drowning, knowing they will drag you down to the bottom, or for the first time in your life, allow another to bear their own cross. This is not a choice between compassion and cruelty. It is a choice between 2 deaths, the death of your old rescuer self and the death of your newborn creator self. And you silently lower your hand, turn away, and leave to build your world. This step does not bring relief. On the contrary, it unleashes hell within. From the grave where you just laid your past, its vengeful ghost rises, your murdered compassion. It accuses you with the voice of everyone you ever saved, screaming that you have become a monster, violating the primary law of your soul. But you do not argue. You look at this phantom coldly, like an architect at a dilapidated wall obstructing a new project. The ghost shrieks its final curse. You will pay for this with eternal loneliness. And for the first time, you are not afraid. Because you know the payment has already been made, there at rock bottom. This battle is won not by strength, but by the knowledge that you have already endured the worst. And when its scream fades, peace descends. Not the silence of emptiness, but the resonant fullness of wholeness. The civil war in your soul is over. Your inner ocean no longer floods its shores. It is contained within the indestructible granite dams of your will. You gain ultimate freedom, freedom from yourself, from your eternal need to be needed and to save. You have ceased to be an echo of others' voices and have become the tuning fork by which your own reality is now aligned. This is power. This is your new name. And here it is, your new world. It no longer clamors or demands. It silently awaits your commands. Your morning now begins not with an anxious scan of others' moods, but with a quiet question to yourself. What will I create today? You have gained transparency of being, people, events, motives. Everything is now seen clearly, but this knowledge no longer hurts. It has become your main instrument. Your empathy has transformed from a curse into a hypersensitive locator, accurately pointing where to direct energy and where to build an impenetrable wall. You no longer seek your home, you are home. And this truth now resonates within you, not as a revelation, but as a pulse. All your hard-won power is now compressed into one simple, unbreakable formula. Your personal creator's mantra, my will is law for my dreams. Repeat it when the world tries to dissolve you again. This is the end of a story about salvation and the first page of the great chronicle of your creation. For the master blueprint has already been approved by the heavens, and now the entire world you see before you is merely your future construction site. The great construction has just begun.